it's Kristen. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you how I store and maybe even use my scraps. I put the challenge out to my crafty friend Reagan. She accepted and she shared how she stores some of her scraps, so now it is my turn. I saw her use in a video something that I also use, so that's what sparked the idea. Basically, this is one of those 4x6 cases. I know it's really close to the camera here, but it 4x6, and I was gifted this by a friend, so I have the carrying case so I can fit many in at once. I have some bins over here that are stackable to my left, and it sits on the top shelf so I can very easily open this and access my colored scraps that are in here, but then it's on the top so that way the top bin can open and it's easy enough to get to. So basically I went through, sorted all the scrap colors because I just had kept them in one or two boxes or the page protectors, and I was finding I really wasn't using them that way, but by sorting them out by color like this, and some of the ways I'll show you here in a bit of some of the larger ones, I find I do reach for those more often, so I'm not always having to cut into a new piece of paper, even though that's part of the fun. So for instance, on like my pink one, let me get this big one here out of the way. Okay, so I went through, sorted them all. I even eventually got some labels. That's only been in the last few weeks that the labels have been added. I've been storing scraps this way here for probably about the last, 4 years or so. So that, maybe 5. So that's been quite handy. But for instance, all my pink scraps that can go in here. I even came across this little booklet of pieces because they're 3x5 size, but they fit right in here, and I thought, well, where am I going to look for these when I go to craft? Probably in here, so that's why they stay in here. And I've done that for all the colors: pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I do keep one for brown and beige together. Let me show you, because this sucker's kind of chunky, so apparently I need to be using more of my brown and beige scraps. Pieces of pattern paper maybe that I've cut down, that's mainly beige or browns, I kind of keep together. Even gold will go in here, and that's how I like my smaller scraps. I also keep a bin for black, white, gray, and clear. That's right, clear, in case I'm doing anything with transparencies, acetate, the vellum. Yeah, vellum I keep in the clear area as well. So if I have any scraps, I try to use those first. Now one might be asking, okay, if you've got a size that's bigger than 4x6, what do you do with those? Let me show you, please hold. Okay, bigger than 4x6, but smaller than a 12x12. Well, this is what I do. Page protectors. So basically, if they're 8.5 by 11 or smaller, but still larger than a 4x6, I go ahead and keep them in these page protectors that are in a binder. For instance, here's my pink one. I haven't labeled it, don't know if I will. That might be a fun organizational thing to kind of go back and do. Basically, I tried to separate them. Hey, look at this. This is a sneaky one. Is that pink? Pumpkin pie watercolor pencil. Nope, that's an orange. I have to put that away in the correct spot. So, pink. I tried to, when I got through to organize these, put more of the solid colors in the front, the pink pattern ones in the back. Have I always been able to do that? Some colors are better than others. I think I probably need to go through my brown beige page protector and try that, but I've been finding that this works for me. I don't know if I want to keep them in the binder or if I want to find a bin to kind of stack them. That I think may work a little bit better if I can find some space on the floor for such a bin. But I do find that by looking in here first, having these scraps of paper, and sometimes even the solid colors, because you never know when you need to die cut or mat or layer something, these are a go-to, and this has been quite helpful. Let me show you what I do for the slightly larger ones. Please hold. Okay, I have 12 by 12 page protectors that I have from back in the scrapbooking days. I would have albums that would be this big, and I loved putting them inside the page protectors, so I still have a whole bunches of those on hand, and they were perfect for the larger size scraps that I have, because I still will buy 12 by 12 pattern papers, 12 by 12 plain solid cardstock papers as well, and they don't fit into the 8.5 by 11 page protectors for scrap storage. So these have been wonderful to be able to sort and use my bigger scraps without always having to cut into those bigger pieces of paper. I also have tried to go through, and when I've sorted these, put the solid colors up front, or at least on one side, and then in the back the more patterned papers. I thought, rather than sorting through it all the time, if I knew I was looking for a pattern, I could go to the back of the page protector, and if I needed more of a solid, I could go more towards the front. These are stacked in a bin over here to my right and down on the floor. I have a nice bin that can hold this size. I think I'd like to get another one that would hold the regular size patterns. I think that I would be able to get in and use it just a little bit more. So if anybody has a recommendation for a type of bin, do let me know. I'm curious what you might think or where I could get one. But these were how I store my scraps, whether they be the little 4 by 6 containers, the 8.5 by 11 page protectors, or the 12 by 12. This is what works for me. Let me know how you store yours. Tag me in a video. If you share on Instagram or here on YouTube, I'd love to be able to see it. Or even if you just do a post, tag me in that too. As well as, feel free to leave that information down in the comments. I'm real curious how others might store their scraps. What do they find what works for them? Or what do they find that they want to store their scraps in? Super curious. And as always, talk to you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.